This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Friday, the 22nd day of September in the year 2023. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting, and here's what we're tracking tonight. The ExxonMobil company broke its silence this afternoon on the controversy that has erupted over the cost oil audits and Exxon's recoverable expenses. In a one-page statement today, the company said it has forwarded documents and responses to issues raised by the government in the draft audit report. According to Exxon, it has supplied responses and documentation to those issues prepared for the government by their consultant, adding that the company is now awaiting a formal response from the government, and it will then look to enter into further dialogue as necessary. The company said it has acted in good faith and cooperated with the government and their consultants, who were appointed to audit cost recovery for the years 1999 to 2017. ExxonMobil said it is normal for auditors to highlight focus areas by sharing a draft report that is later addressed with additional documentation. Exxon's response came one day after Vice President Bharat Jagdeo announced that the government was launching a probe into an unauthorized meeting between the ExxonMobil company and staffers of the petroleum unit of the Ministry of Natural Resources.
We're not accepting this. We're not accepting anything that Exxon sent subsequently to the closure of the audit by GRA. And if the closure is 2/11, that's it. Okay? So we don't know what they sent, and I'm not really interested in it because that could be sent and claimed that arbitration should we go there. I'm more interested in who authorized this and why this contact after the GRA had said we're closing it at this stage.
An original audit had flagged $214 million that Exxon was claiming as costs. However, following a meeting between Exxon and the Natural Resources Ministry officials, the $214 million was reduced to $3 million. While the Natural Resources Ministry originally agreed with the reduction, it was forced to change its tune when a furious Vice President Bharat Jagdeo called out the ministry's petroleum unit at the press conference. The Natural Resources Ministry later backpedaled from its position on the reduction. Vice President Jagdeo yesterday said that the government will not accept any position outside of the position taken by the Guyana Revenue Authority, which had originally flagged the $214 million in recoverable expenses. The Minister of Natural Resources, Vikram Bharat, is now expected to present a report to the Cabinet on who granted authorization for staffers of his ministry to engage ExxonMobil on the issue. More news coming up in just a moment.
It's been a long time coming. Overdue, some might say. But now that it's here, it will change life forever. And it is here to stay. The future is now. Transforming Guyana into the 21st century. Introducing GTT Fiber. Experience internet connectivity like never before. Speeds you deserve at prices you can afford from a name you can trust. Sign up today. GTT Fiber is here. GTT. Together, we rise faster.
Oh my lord. I just love to shop in this store. My customers, them gonna love all these things. So many different things in one place. Household items, electronics, toys, stationery, confectionery, exercise equipment, shoes and clothes for men, women and children, school things, costume, jewelry, perfume, makeup. Oh, look the makeup!
Giftland Office Max, Guyana's favorite department store.
Having your own car means peace of mind.
Having your own car means comfort and convenience.
Having your own car means freedom to get there on your own time.
It's Deal on Wheels at Republic Bank. It's time to get that new vehicle or upgrade to a better one with Republic. Super low rates and low down payment. Up to 8 years to repay and great prizes. Come in to Republic Bank today.
Republic Bank. We're the one for you.
Monster, bust the flavors. We're full of flavors. Bust the flavors that me crave for. We're full of flavors. Tell your neighbors about the Buster flavors. Grab a Buster flavors. Yeah, thirst buster. Grab a Buster. Buster flavor, taste the savor. Buster flavors. Buster flavors.
Strong and solid in countries far and wide. New India Assurance, we're standing by your side. Golden service, half a century and more. New India Assurance, our policies are secure. From the heart of India, we serve these islands. The strength that you can trust, you're safe when you come to us.
New India Assurance Company. Assurance when you need it most.
For your home, motor or business insurance, visit New India Guyana office, 58 Brickdam next to Star Computers. Telephone 2260-415-7. Comfortable parking available.
The opposition APNU is laying the blame squarely at the feet of Vice President Bharat Jagdeo over the embarrassing cost recovery audit of the ExxonMobil company. Mr. Jagdeo has already cleared himself of any wrongdoing, declaring that he only has oversight functions of the oil and gas sector and not day-to-day management. But the APNU is adamant that Mr. Jagdeo was aware of the issue and the audit announced by the government is a cover-up. In a statement, the APNU said the evidence and verdict are already starkly obvious. According to the APNU, first of all, there were not negotiations but submissive giveaway of the country's revenue. The party said Vice President Bharat Jagdeo most likely authorized the underhand effort to cede $214 million of the people's money. The party said Jagdeo's attempts at what it sees as a cover-up and blame-throwing are clumsy and self-incriminating. According to the political opposition, Guyanese cannot afford to lose such large sums of money due to incompetence. The opposition said the audit scandal, which it is calling Auditgate, blatantly exposes what the opposition has been saying all along, that the vice president is incompetent. UK firm IHS Markit had been hired to do the first ever audit of expenses of ExxonMobil and its partners for the period 1999 to 2017. The report of the audit was kept a secret. The Natural Resources Ministry and the ExxonMobil company reportedly tried to cut the figure put forward by the Guyana Revenue Authority, but the GRA said the audit was closed. With rising complaints from citizens about the abuse of private vehicles being fitted with emergency sirens and flashing emergency lights, government ministers have been ordered to ensure the sirens and lights are removed from their vehicles. Other government officials have also been told of the order. News source understands that the issue was raised at a recent cabinet meeting, and both the president and the vice president pointed out that it is against the law for non-emergency and non-police vehicles to be outfitted with the sirens and the emergency lights. In recent months, several official government vehicles carrying ministers and other government officials have been seen making their way through traffic with sirens blazing and flashing lights on. The Home Affairs Minister and the Guyana Police Force have also been told, news source understands, to clamp down on other private vehicles that have the emergency lights and sirens attached to them in their efforts to beat traffic. News source has learned that diplomats have also been told of the need to have sirens and emergency lights removed from their vehicles, since several vehicles with diplomatic number plates were noticed in traffic with the sirens and those flashing lights on. In the National Assembly last year, opposition member of Parliament Chandran Edmund raised the issue and grilled the Home Affairs Minister about the illegal practice of those non-emergency vehicles using the sirens and flashing lights. At the time, the Home Affairs Minister Robeson Ben said the government was looking at the possibility of expanding the categories of vehicles that could carry the sirens and lights. Chandran Edmund decried the abuse of the emergency systems and also warned that it could have serious consequences.
Audits are a routine practice for any business, more so in the international petroleum industry. These audits ensure that the expenses incurred by ExxonMobil are aligned with cost to recoverable expenditures. Guyana has been working to ensure that audits are done in a transparent manner utilizing international and local expertise.
Come visit us on Waterloo Street. John Lewis Styles, simply different.
Having your own car means peace of mind.
Having your own car means comfort and convenience.
Having your own car means freedom to get there on your own time.
It's Deal on Wheels at Republic Bank. It's time to get that new vehicle or upgrade to a better one with Republic. Super low rates and low down payment. Up to 8 years to repay and great prizes. Come in to Republic Bank today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Hakaraima Golden Suites, Amazonas Hotel, and Nalep Mining Company, in association with the 5-Men-2 Movement, presents Pepe Mereno.
Eu conheci americana que queria só beber.
Live in concert at the National Park, September 30th. Also live performances by Castro Brothers, DJ Anand, DJ Tranquilo, and your boy DJ Ace Mas Fuego. Sponsored by Fireside Suites, Fireside Grill and Chill, Extra Ginger Ale, 94.1 Boom FM, and the 5-Men-2 Bar and Grill. Pepe Mereno at the National Park, September 30th.
Turning our attention now to that ongoing commission of inquiry into the deadly Madhya dorm fire. The last child who succumbed to injuries sustained in that Madhya school dorm fire back in May was among the first 3 patients to be air dashed from Madhya to Georgetown, the commission of inquiry heard today. Head of the General Surgery Unit and the Burns and Plastic Surgery Unit at the Georgetown Hospital, Dr. Shalindra Rajkumar, told the Commission that based on reports submitted, the 13-year-old child was in a critical state when she was flown out from the area. The 13-year-old victim was admitted into the intensive care unit at the Georgetown Hospital, while the other 2 were admitted to the pediatric high dependency unit. The 13-year-old never regained consciousness and succumbed days later despite the best efforts of the doctors at the hospital. Dr. Rajkumar said he traveled to Madhya early on the morning of the fire and assessed more than 20 victims of the fire. It was his assessment that led to the evacuation of another 3 patients who were all in a critical condition. He explained that upon his arrival at the Madhya District Hospital, he was asked by the regional health officer to assess the victims who were in the facility at the time. It was explained that 6 of the girls were in a treatment area, while one with burns about her body laid in a room by herself. The other girls, he noted, were in a restroom used by doctors and nurses. The doctor said a girl who was not fully conscious had suffered from carbon monoxide poisoning and was at a risk of slipping into a coma. 19 children lost their lives in the blaze, with the 20th victim passing away in the hospital a few days later. The Commission of Inquiry is examining issues related to the fire and in the lead up and after the fire. The second in command of the Fire Prevention Department of the Guyana Fire Service, Javed Mohammed, today told the Commission of Inquiry investigating the Madhya school dorm fire that evidence suggests that the fire was maliciously set from inside of the building. The fire official ruled out that the fire was electrical in nature on the basis that where the fire started, there was no electrical outlet. Mohammed was part of a 3-member team of officials from the fire service who flew into Madhya on the morning of the 22nd of May to investigate the fire. The fire officials assessed the scene before visiting the hospital, where they spoke to a number of witnesses, including survivors. The fire investigators, over a period of 2 days, found bits of aluminum and a plastic nozzle belonging to an aerosol can. Pieces of glass were also found. The test done only detailed the type of materials the items found were made of. Opposition leader Aubrey Norton has indicated that the opposition intends to paint what he called an accurate picture of Guyana's political and economic situation when members of the opposition meet with a delegation from the U.S. Congress next week, including Democratic leader Congressman Hakeem Jeffries. At a press conference on Thursday, Mr. Norton told reporters that the opposition is still finalizing its positions on a number of matters. However, he noted the opposition intends to raise issues relating to the economy, the political situation in the country, and the issue of discrimination.
We are still finalizing all of our positions that we will take at the conference. We know for sure that we are going to give a correct assessment of the political and economic situation in Guyana generally, and we will outline and support the case for discrimination, that the government discriminates a lot.
The high-level meeting will take place in Washington, D.C. The opposition leaders are expected to lead a delegation comprising 8 members of the opposition. The other members are Roysdale Ford, Amanza Walton Desir, David Patterson, Ganesh Mahipal, Kathy Hughes, and Nima Flubess. Ahead of the meeting, the Vice President Bara Jagdeo sought to pour cold water on the issues that he believes the opposition will raise. At his own press conference, Mr. Jagdeo said President Irfan Ali, during his meeting with the congressional representatives, addressed issues relating to energy and food security.
They believe that we could work together to enhance regional prosperity, that Guyana can play a very important role on food security, and also energy security, not only for this region, but for the United States itself. And I think they believe that we have a great plan to tackle the environment and make a contribution to the fight against climate change.
Jagdeo told reporters that unlike the president, the opposition might be incapable of effectively addressing any of the policies relating to the environment, energy, and food security.
If the team that goes from the PNC were asked any question relating to these matters, what their policies are, they clearly would have a hard time answering any of these questions, because on each of these matters, they have not defined a national position, much less have an international position on the issue.
Following the meeting with President Irfan Ali, the House Democratic leaders spoke of the importance of having an inclusive society in Guyana and for there to be full economic participation and civic engagement by Afro and Indo-Guyanese. Mr. Jeffries also addressed the need for there to be electoral reform and the strengthening of democratic institutions.
Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guyol's Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive!
Sorry.
Jack?
Hey.
Boys, where you going with all that speed?
Yeah, today's the 15th. My NIS contributions are due, and I ain't even get the forms as yet.
Hold on. You mean to tell me that you're not aware that all self-employed persons can now make their NIS contributions using the MMG app from the comforts of their homes and offices?
Really? I just pay my bills using MMG,
Yes, Jack. And the thing's simple. All you have to do is open the app, select Pay Bills, Government Services, NIS, and Pay. They will prompt you to enter your NIS number, the month you're paying for, and the amount.
So I don't need to submit any form?
No. The only time you submit in a form is when you're making a claim.
Wait, I could make a claim too?
Oh, no, Manja. You didn't know that? Yes. All self-employed persons are entitled to all benefits from NIS. Well, except for the industrial benefits. And here's the good part. All of their forms, you can download them from the NIS website.
Well, girl, I'm really glad I bumped into you.
Anyhow, make sure you pay your bills later.
Later? I gotta sit down right here and pay my contributions first.
Take care.
For further information, please visit the website at www.nis.org.gy, the National Insurance Scheme Facebook page, or your nearest NIS office.
Food Max Supermarket, located on the ground floor of the Giftland Mall, is your one-stop shop for all your grocery needs. We stock a variety of imported frozen meat and food products, fresh produce, and pet supplies, freshly made bread. Rotisserie chicken and patties are also available daily. Shop in comfort today at Food Max and let our courteous staff assist you in satisfying your shopping needs. Food Max, the fresh food specialist.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach, but we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true. Or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
Look who's in the mix now. The new Buster Soda Water. 0 calories, 0 sugar, 0 artificial flavors. 100% refreshing. Taste Buster Soda Water today. Buster Soda Water. Now available for only $120.
With your regional and international news tonight, I'm Svetlana Marshall in the region. CMC in a report said the Bermuda government has acknowledged that it is experiencing some challenges with its information technology system and is pointing an accusing finger at Russia. According to the report, Premier David Burt said the incident has not only affected the government of Bermuda, but also some regional governments as well. Burt said that while the government is in the early stages of confirming what happened on Thursday afternoon, no digital information had been lost. The incident led to Thursday's postponement of the sitting of the House of Assembly. The government had earlier advised the public that its telephone, internet, and email systems were disrupted and that all departments were affected. The Bermuda Police Service said its services were functioning and that emergency and non-emergency telephone numbers were operating as usual. Premier Burt said that various teams were working with both local and international partners to establish the source of the incident. Antigua and Barbuda Prime Minister Gaston Brung has called on small and developing nations to join together to advance their collective interests. Brung issued a call today during his address at the United Nations General Assembly. Brung said for far too long these countries, who are most vulnerable to global challenges like climate change, aren't included in discussions that affect the daily lives of their citizens. Brung outlined that Antigua and Barbuda has been working to unite its fellow small island countries to take on the major polluting nations under the banner of the Commission of Small Island States on Climate Change and International Law. And finally tonight, international news. A Ukrainian missile strike has hit the headquarters of Russia's Black Sea Fleet in Crimea, the BBC said in a report. One soldier is missing after the missile attack, according to Moscow. Footage on social media shows plumes of smoke over the building in Sevastopol. The fleet is an important target for Kiev and is seen as the best of Russia's navy. Ukraine has hit several targets in Crimea recently, including an air defense system and 2 naval vessels. Against the backdrop of the attack, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky visited the Canadian Parliament to give a speech in which he thanked Canada for being an example for others around the world in its support of its country. Canada is home to a large Ukrainian diaspora. Mr. Zelensky, who was given multiple standing ovations, said people will be the winners and not the Kremlin, and insisted Ukraine could call on support as it was about saving lives of millions of people. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau pledged additional support worth 650 million Canadian dollars, including 50 armored vehicles and training for F-16 fighter jets pilots and engineers. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Svetlana Marshall reporting and encouraging you to stay safe.